All right. Welcome back to another episode of Real Estate UnRaked, episode number 3. I am your host, Eric Rakers. I am accompanied by Dane Coussens, Don Hughes, and Pam Schultz. Hope everybody's having a great day. Let me ask you this. Are buyers really priced out of the market? Or are they just missing the strategy? Today, we're going to cut through all the noise and break down the truth behind affordability in today's market. Hi, guys. How are you?
All right,
Hi.
all right.
Hello.
Good. So today, we are going to talk about this affordability thing. This is probably one of the biggest reasons that everybody's struggling with the housing market right now. Everybody's seeing the high interest rates and all that kind of stuff. So let's break that down. Let's give the listeners right now a huge opportunity and what we can do to have them feel more comfortable about getting in the market, getting in the house, and going through stuff. Because we had some really good talks earlier today. And we need to share that with everybody. Let's look at the affordability trifecta. All right, the 3 major buyer roadblocks. All right, obviously they're the high mortgage rates, skyrocketing insurance and HOA cost, and the fear of overpaying. Let's handle this first one, interest rates. It seems to be the most popular one because it's always in the news. So
The first question you get asked by any buyer or seller.
no doubt. Why
Yeah.
aren't you going to buy right now? The interest rates. I'm going to wait till they drop down again.
What are
Yeah.
interest rates doing?
Yep.
Yeah, so what are they at today? Anyone tell me?
The national average on a 30-year fixed is sitting around 6.5%.
And what are the things here in Northeast Florida, even though that's the national average, what are some of the things here in Northeast Florida that we as realtors can do for you and get you hooked up with that can actually reduce that a little bit? Lender partners.
Well, definitely lender partners.
Yeah. Our lender partners have huge programs they can use. They can do some adjustments here and there, probably get you a lower rate. And it's the best thing to do, correct me if I'm wrong, is to have that conversation. Don't be worried about, they're going to check my credit and it's going to lower my credit and this is going to happen. No, have a conversation.
Right. And not only that, some mortgage lenders have programs other mortgage lenders don't offer. So it does not hurt to shop around to get the better rate.
There's many ways to get to 7, Dane.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Or the better program. There are a lot of programs out there, and depending on that particular buyer, there's a lot to choose from out there.
Absolutely.
Well, they have the one that everybody sees and talks about the most is the Hometown Heroes, right? There's also first-time buyer programs out there, and it's even county-specific. I know Clay County's got a certain amount they can give out right now. Duval County's got a certain amount.
Mm-hmm.
Every lender that has all these programs available for them, for the clients themselves, is kind of endless at the moment. It's funny. They will bring a client to them. They're like, we could do this, we could do this, we can do this. Right. And it really sets us up, and especially when we're going looking at houses and the customers want to put an offer on a house, that helps us really determine how to write that offer. And one, make it competitive. 2, make it have more buying power for the buyer itself. And make sure they have the money for closing costs and stuff like that for affordability. Right?
Yeah, the assistance helps quite a bit. As a matter of fact, I went through, speaking on this, 3 different lenders to get the right program for a client that just put a house under contract. And they got the financial assistance they needed to get to the price, the monthly payment they needed so they could afford this particular home.
So you've been hearing that thing about, what is that phrase I can't stand? You date the rate and you marry the house. I don't like it. We got some good ones. Let's brainstorm for a minute. what we got? Come on. Let's just go right off the limb, guys. What do you think? Rates are speed dating. Houses, I do.
Yeah.
What about you, Pam? You had one that you had said earlier that was awesome. Commit to the address and not the interest.
Yes, commit to the address, not the interest.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Fall for the house, not the rate.
Yes. I like it. Pam, you made a really good point earlier. It's one of the things. Let's talk about insurance cost. Skyrocketing insurance here in Florida and HOAs. So what's your thoughts on that? And what can you really mention that would be impactful for us?
Well, I think just as we have lender partners, it's helpful to have insurance partners as well.
Mm-hmm.
You have to shop those rates as well. And I think homeowners insurance isn't anything that anybody really thinks about or really truly understands. And when you align yourself with some different homeowners insurance carriers, they can help walk you through that process. Sometimes you're carrying more insurance than you need.
Yeah.
And there are some ways. I just went through this myself personally, had to shop for it. And, some of your liability coverage is maybe much higher than what you would possibly need. Those are things that you can tweak. Your hurricane coverage, flood insurance, do you need it? Do you not need it? But just different things that you can. And different carriers, I've noticed, they now dictate what your replacement cost is on your home. And I found that some of them were extraordinarily higher than probably what I could sell my home for to replace my home. So I said, no, thank you, and went with somebody else. But I think there's a lot of things that you can do, but shopping, again, just as you do for your car insurance and as you do for your mortgage rates, there are different products and vehicles out there that you can look at to bring those costs down.
I highly recommend doing it every year.
Not a bad idea for sure.
Just reviewing it, this and that. Not all packages are created equal anymore, especially state to state. I know when I was in Illinois, I would always have to get this higher premium kind of deal. And then when I moved to Florida, I jumped into the same kind of mindset, and it cost me twice as much.
Wow.
When really, if you go down and break down each line, like you had mentioned, Pam, that you don't need it so much money or coverage in this sector, but you can use it in this point, and this point, and this point. A lot of these insurance companies are allowing us now to do that, and that really hits the affordability thing. So when it comes to like home insurance and stuff like that, what another way that we can actually help you as realtors and our team is that we can actually help you reduce the insurance cost. And one of the ways we can do that, believe it or not, are you ready for this? New construction. We can actually get you into a home, new construction-wise. Usually the first 5 years is a reduced rate for those homes. Which what does that do? Reduces the insurance cost every year. So not only are you going to get great incentives and affordability on getting into a brand new home, but you're going to have great rates on insurance. It's going to be pretty cheap. You're probably going to have more energy efficient utility bills. So that's an option for buyers right now, is to look at that. Buyers have such a powerful opportunity right now, even though they're scared and they're blanketed by overpaying for stuff, and at the same time these interest rates, because they're so used to the stuff that's been going on in COVID. COVID ruined everything.
Oh, by far.
I am not going to sugarcoat that. I'm going to leave that probably a raw comment as much as I can. Is COVID ruined a lot of things and a lot of mindsets for a lot of people. And I don't think it was intentional, but at the same time, what it did is it changed the normal mindset. When really is home ownership is supposed to hurt a little bit when you buy a house. It's not like buying a car where you can switch it every 3 to 5 years. Because a lot of us got accustomed to that. Home ownership is supposed to hurt just a little bit. But you know what? When you find out that you can afford it, it's an achievement. It's a life event. But at the same time, there's a lot of great opportunities, especially right now in this market, regardless of high interest rates or higher, which they are trending down.
They are the lowest they've been all year.
Oh, my God,
and
yes.
If I'm not mistaken, I think they're the lowest they've been in the last 12 months.
Correct.
Or maybe longer.
Yeah, I think it might be a little longer.
This week in particular, I think they've been trending down nicely.
Very nice.
Just to see a VA rate go below 6% was really nice to see.
Yeah. Don, us doing in a couple of the new home communities where we do a lot of open houses there. We partner up with a lot of builders in the area. Would you say that a lot of these incentives right now is giving these buyers a lot of buying power?
A ton of buying power. And especially for first-time home buyers, new construction is a better avenue because of the warranties on the property. They don't have as much repair and replacement needs because you never really know a home until you get into it, what's going on in there. And then the lower interest rates, the incentive packages that basically cover your closing costs. I mean, you can get into a brand new home for less than you're paying in rent.
Oh, my gosh. We did a kind of just a review of somewhere here in Clay County. I don't want to specifically say where, but if you want more information, obviously give us a call. But we looked at a rental community, and we looked at several other new builds in the area and compared square footage to price-wise what they're paying for rent. You could probably get into the same exact house that you're renting. Let's give you a payment of right around $1,900 to $2,000 a month. get that payment around $1,900 to $2,000 a month to get in a brand new home is only going to be anywhere between $150 to $300 more a month. Now, I know that may actually sound like a lot, but let me explain this. And you guys chime in whenever you want with this. But you are paying rent to somebody. The interest rate on that is 100%. All right? $150 to $300 a month. Now, this was just a general look at it. Not to mention our cool lender partners, our great lender partners that we have that will help you reduce that. So I may not even be talking that much difference on the monthly payment aspect. Right. All right? Not including that your renter's insurance are it's a little bit more than standard homeowner's insurance. So you've got all these factors into play that you could probably get into the same amount that you're renting right now into a brand new home. And seeing that was kind of shocking.
Well, a lot of people are fearful of that because of money, upfront costs, money to put down. But these new builders are offering closing costs. Some $15,000. I've seen some up to $25,000 that will cover all the prepaids, closing costs, whatever they need, so no money out of pocket.
So what you're telling me, Dane, is that the standard 20% down payment is not required anymore?
Not for a new home right now. Nope.
Another thing, too, if you're doing a VA loan, in many instances, you can get money back at closing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's crazy to think, but yes, you can actually buy a home where it feels like they're paying you to get into the home.
Oh, yeah. I had that happen last year, as a matter of fact. Brand new home. He got a check for $2,400. He goes, "What's this for?" And they said, "Well, your VA loan and everything, this is what you get back." And he was the most excited person I've ever seen. It was awesome. Yeah.
It's the common misconception of a lot of things. You've got, the younger generation that's getting into this stuff. Now you're looking at people that I remember whenever I was young, I get my learner's permit, get my driver's license at 16. It was a staple of freedom for me. And I know my kids, my older boys, they weren't in a hurry to get the driver's license.
No.
And I know some of these other children nowadays, they're just not in the hurry to do that. So you would think that the mindset of buying a home would be the same situation. And it is. And I think what it is, it's more of a fear factor, a commitment issue, a responsibility that a lot of these people are afraid of.
And a perceived affordability issue.
Oh, my gosh. Yes. You get into the whole thing where you hear mom and dad talk about, well, when I was your age, or, well, when I bought my first house, it didn't cost me this much. Well, I understand that. But everything, costs more. Eggs, milk, groceries, gasoline, everything costs more. And if you look at the percentages about that, people are okay with paying 27 to 30% interest rate on a monthly basis on a credit card. They have no issues with that. They don't care.
No.
What they balk at 6.2% on a new home? Is it because at one point in time it was lower? Heck, you know what? I remember that in 1969 you could build and buy a Camaro from Chevrolet for $7,900.
How do you remember 1969?
I'm sorry.
Just asking.
No, I don't remember that.
I was going to call.
But I remember that my grandparents and everybody was telling me about that.
Just had to clarify. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not that old. Thank you.
I am.
But, well, then am I wrong? That
I don't remember 1969, but I was around.
It's Kia. You could buy the base Kia for like $8,900. They would get you in the dealership. You could buy that. It was crank windows, whatever. You
No
get in the car, no AC. You get in the vehicle, and you could go forward and backwards, and you can turn.
Right. Well, let's go back to the mortgage rates. The average for the last 50 years for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage rate is 7.71%. That's the 50-year average as of right now, from 1971 to 2025. And right now they are offering it at 6.5%. So actually, we're doing better than the 50-year average. But what hurt us is when the interest rates were down 2% and 3%, and everybody is spoiled by that, and it's like, oh no, we can't afford nothing else. And that's what the issue is right now when it comes to affordability.
I'm curious. We need to research this. And it just come to me. Do you think there was more homes sold during COVID or more refinancing during COVID?
Yes.
Yes. As in more homes sold or more refis?
Both.
It was both.
It was a lot,
it was
right?
A frenzy.
It was a frenzy.
Frenzy of both.
So here you are, people are refinancing mortgage rates that they did before COVID happened in the mid fives, probably.
Right.
Getting into the low twos because it was just an opportunity. Circle of the business, circle how things work. It happens. It's like a revolving every 7 years and how it works.
It's a cyclical.
Yeah. Well, it's like a snowball rolling down the hill, right? It doesn't revolve around the same area of the mountain or the hill. It still revolves, but it revolves in a different spot. So are we going to see 2-3% interest rate again? Probably not, just like we're not going to see 99-cent gas anymore. All right? However, there's a lot of people that are making more money than they used to, and affordability has changed. The law of average is taking effect. But at the end of the day, the fear of overpaying is just not going to happen, okay?
Right.
We can help you do that. Having the right realtor with you makes all the difference in the world. That's why you need to call us. All right?
Right on.
Because you not get one, you get 8. All right? There's a huge difference to that. And if you haven't listened to us in the last couple episodes, we kind of know what we're talking about. We kind of get what we're doing. And if we can't figure it out, guess what? We're going to go to work and figure it out for you because we have that kind of never not working mentality. We joked about that before, right?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So the fear of overpaying, I mean, that's why rent is so where it's at. That's why people can charge more for rent because they just don't want that responsibility. You know, just like nobody wants that drive anymore. I don't want to have a car payment or I don't have to worry about that.
Right. Or the commitment.
Yeah. All right. As we were talking about this, you know, the fear of overpaying, the fear of all this stuff. But let's get the buyers back in the game on this, okay? What is some of the things that we can use for that? Obviously, we did mention it. Builder incentives.
Right.
They help close covering costs. Dane, you made a really good point about that. We do rate buy downs with our lender partners. There's a lot of new communities or a lot of new builders that are allowing outside lenders to come in that we can leverage our lender partners with that have additional incentives to that. So there's several different options for that. You know, the multi-generational financing. Does anybody know what that is at all?
No.
No?
As far as gift letters.
Yes.
And like parental
Okay.
assistance in financing.
Yep, you're right. And then another thing, is just besides just getting with us, is we're doing that thing. And Dane, what's that phrase?
Don't wait for the deal. Let us go help you find that deal.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we do. And, you know, just a couple other things, you know, that we definitely do feel that will help these buyers out is, you know, if you go new, we can reduce your insurance costs, you know, little adds to that because of being a new home versus a resale, buyer incentives, all that stuff. I mean,
Right.
it's a good recap of that. So if you're afraid, if you're nervous, you're afraid about overpaying, you're afraid about making the commitment, you know how much it costs to have a conversation with us when you call?
0.
Nothing.
Nada.
You can call me. You can bother me. You can ask me a couple questions. Absolutely okay with that. As a matter of fact, I'll even hook you up with a lender and you can have a conversation with them. And I guarantee you they'll be more than happy to complimentary have you have a conversation.
Absolutely.
It's all about knowledge and power and helping the buyers feel more comfortable with making the decision they need to make. That's what we're here for. Zero pressure selling. We just want to be part of your experience. We want to help you. And we want to give you the best deal that we can and fight for that for you as a buyer.
Right.
Same thing when we list for sellers. We want to help you get the most money for your home. At the same time, it being real market value, rate, and I tell you what, speaking of that, and I want to touch base on this. When we list homes, obviously, when we are on the buying side, we do everything we can to help the buyer get the lowest price in the house. All right? No doubt that's how it works. When we list homes, we help the seller get and retain as much money as possible for these homes, right?
Yep.
Real market value for these houses. But what I think separates us more than everybody else when we list this house is how well that we work with other real estate agents. Would you guys not disagree on that?
No, I agree 100% with that.
I
I agree as well. it's missed here in Florida a lot lately, more often now than before, about how we're transitional agents. We work for the transaction. We're supposed to be putting both parties together, but all this, the agent combativeness that they don't want to negotiate or give you enough information to negotiate the best deal for the buyer or seller is very frustrating. And that's the difference between us and other agents. We will be transparent with you about that.
Very much so. Yes, agreed.
Oh my gosh, I think everybody on the team is as aggressive that we are and as energetic that we are and how we don't back down from anything. I would put anything up for the fact that how well and how hard we negotiate for our clients, buying or the selling side, both for that matter.
Right. Oh, absolutely. One thing I want to touch on, making it more feasible for the buyer. One thing that we did not discuss, and I just want to touch this before we end this podcast, but concessions. Concessions was not brought up. My last 3 or 4 deals, we have gotten concessions to help the buyer get into the home to have less out-of-pocket cost, and even to buy down the rates to get afforded. We didn't even talk about that, and that's a major concept of negotiating the price and getting it right for our client.
Oh, you're giving away our secret, Dane.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding.
It works.
No. What it is the fact is that everybody that's on this team is proactive when we even go to the initial point. I was always told, you start right, you end right. All right? That's a saying that I love. I just love living by. And when we have the right partner and as a lender, we know exactly where the buyer's at. We know exactly what the buyer can afford and what we can do. We've got all that stuff. Then we can get aggressive on how we negotiate it. And then we write an offer according to that. And when we write that offer, we stay true to that and we fight for that. That way, when we get to a certain point, we've got some wiggle room with that. We got some comfortability for the buyer on that side. That's when it turned into. Your buyer at closing table gets a check written to them.
That's right.
Pam, you were talking about some of the affordabilities with the other programs all of a sudden become available halfway through before we have closing time that it comes through that these buyers are eligible for, that they get some kickbacks for that. It's knowing and having that knowledge, and like I had said in a previous episode, was the experience and the knowledge of having the right realtor on your side will make all the difference from start to end. And that's why using us is probably one of the biggest things that you can do, because you've got a cumulative amount of years of experience on this team.
Absolutely.
And it's not just my head or your head, Dane, or your head, Pam, or Don. It's all of ours collectively together, because not everybody can remember everything at the same time. And we all have discussions about what we're doing for our current clients, what we got going on for our listings, what our buyers are looking for. And we put our heads together on a weekly basis, if not daily, and talk about that stuff.
And we each all have our, different strengths.
Oh, my gosh.
That helps out tremendously.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about that in the last episode, Don, about how you help the team with the investors. Yeah. You get that little niche. I love it. I love it. So, recapping with that, I tell you what, from our buyers out there, we can do what we call a get real strategy, okay? And it's not so much a challenge. It's the fact is, listen, if there's anybody out there that's thinking about buying a home, give us a call. We can do a 15 to 30-minute buying strategy call with you. You give us a call. We can schedule that. We'll break down everything from what your comfort zone is. We can talk about lender options. We can talk about anything as far as new construction deals, current incentives that's going on. Just so you know, we know every builder and every incentive. Trust me, we get emails from them on a regular basis. we know exactly what's going to happen. And it's funny because we get those emails before the on-site agents get them.
Right.
And we get them in advance because they want us real estate agents to help them out sell those homes. And right now there's a plethora of them, so we can help you get a deal on it. All right? And also, we can help you find the right inventory. There's a lot of things. And we can talk about anything that you want to when you give me a call. All right? But at the end of the day, let's schedule time. Give us a call. We'll sit down with you. We'll help you out. You get to know us a little bit more. And we'll see what we can do to earn the opportunity to help you find your next dream home. Kind of recapping. You guys got any comments that you want to make? Recapping kind of like where the buyers are at. What we can do to help empower them right now, because it is no longer a seller's market right now. I believe it's a buyer's market. That's where things are trending, and that's where we're going.
100%. I think a lot of the uncertainty is kind of settled down right now. The rates are trending downward. Prices have come down, if not at least stabilized, where it's an environment where when affordability is an issue, it's a lot easier to tame that dragon because you've got sellers that are willing to work with you. They're willing to negotiate different terms that would be more favorable for the buyer in their particular financing scenario. So it's not just about price. It's about terms for these buyers, finding them the best loan products, concessions, or just structuring their deal where it's most beneficial to them.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to wrap up this episode. Guys, follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. We do great videos where we talk about what's going on in Clay County, what's going on in Northeast Florida. We talk about new communities. We do videos for that. We got a whole plethora of educational stuff that we do as well. Leave comments on what you guys think on these podcasts. All right. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to talk about new information. We want to make sure that we're appealing to you guys as listeners. So let us know anytime. All right. But business@rakershomegroup.com. Same thing for YouTube and everything else. But until then, we appreciate everybody listening, and we will see you guys in the next episode.